Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. We are absolutely thrilled to have you here for a very exciting announcement for basketball here in Western Australia. Before we get things underway, I'd like to respectfully acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we are here today, the Whadjuk Noongar people. It's an absolute privilege to be on Whadjuk Noongar country this afternoon. To get things underway, I'd love for someone to come up here and share the vision of HoopsFest Perth 2026, and that person is none other than CEO of the NBL, David Stevenson.
Great. Thanks, Kelsey. Appreciate it. Also like to pass on my respectful views of the Noongar people and pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Well, today we are very pleased to announce that HoopsFest is coming back to Western Australia in 2026. It's the single biggest celebration of basketball in the Southern Hemisphere, and it will all happen here in Perth from the 15th to the 18th of January 2026. You'll be able to see all 10 NBL teams playing the Hungry Jacks NBL season for regular season points. And for the first time ever, all 8 WNBL teams playing regular season games here, which we are thrilled about. In addition to that, for the first time, we'll have the HoopsFest Cup, which is a community participation event. We expect teams from all over the country and the region to come to Perth and participate in this. Sneakerland will come back. It's been one of the greatest success stories here in Western Australia, and we're excited to see some of the great sneakers and fashion that comes with Sneakerland. And then lastly, there'll be so many fan activities, including a fan zone all around the city. It'll be a great way for basketball to take over the city of Perth and Western Australia and really be a high point of the season. We've kept prices for tickets at a very, very affordable rate. And if you remember, last year we had over 30,000 people attend various games, and we expect to exceed that number this year. For everyone, please jump on to hoopsfest.com.au, register your interest. It'll be a great way to make sure that you don't miss out before the tickets go on sale over the coming week or two. These things don't happen by accident, and I wanted to pay a huge tribute and thank you to Tourism Western Australia, the West Australian Government, Venues West, all of the 10 NBL clubs, including the Perth Lynx and the Perth Wildcats, who are going to open the first 2 nights. We also want to thank Basketball WA, who have been fantastic supporters. And it's a great way for basketball to come together at this one time in the middle of school holidays in January. It's going to be an absolute incredible event, and please don't miss out. Thank you.
Well done, Dave.
Thank you, Dave. HoopsFest Perth 2026 sounds like it is going to be an unmissable event. We'd love to get a player's perspective on this, just what this announcement means to the league and to the fans. And we have none other than WNBL star and a player fresh off inking a 2-year deal with the Perth Lynx, Annalie Maley.
Hi. Are you going to ask me a question or am I just talking?
Sure, I can ask you some questions.
Okay.
Annalie, talk about HoopsFest last year. It was an amazing time for basketball in Perth. We're seeing it back this year. What did it mean for you being a part of it and now being able to play in it next year?
So for anyone that came to actually watch HoopsFest last year, it was a massive community event. It wasn't just happening at one stadium, it was happening across multiple. I thought the coolest part was seeing, first of all, as a WNBL player, getting to play at RAC, having kind of the men's and the women's games on at the same time. So to see us on equal platforms was a pretty cool thing. I've been in the league 8 years now, so sorry, that's my dog over there. I've been in the league 8 years now, and it was probably one of the first times that we've had that type of exposure, and that's super important for women's sports. So sorry. Yeah, but the other really important thing is that exposure that we were talking about, is that the younger girls and boys get to watch us play at that level, and I think that's really important. So, yeah.
One more. One more. Annalie, I want to ask about the fan base. We saw such a big turnout to HoopsFest across the 3 days that there was last year. You're obviously hoping for exactly the same amount or even more people to come. But what do you want to say to the people out there if they're choosing to come to HoopsFest? What are you going to see when you get there?
Look, I think the women's game is really exciting, and it's in a really exciting space at the moment. Like, we're seeing the rise of the WNBA overseas and how popular women's sports here is in Australia. So if you do get down to one of the women's games, you should be expecting to see like a sort of fast-paced, high-octane version of the game, and we're evolving in that way. So I do think it's a very family-friendly thing, and we always engage with the fans and the community. So that sort of engagement from the community is super important. So if you do come down, always say hi to us. It'll be super fun.
Absolutely love your answers. Thank you so much for your time.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. It's always so refreshing to hear from the players what it means to have an announcement like this today. And I think it is also only fitting to have someone who is a great of the basketball scene in Australia, probably one of the best to play overseas and a true legend of basketball here in Australia, Luke Longley. So we welcome Luke here to our panel today, as well as Elijah Pepper from the Perth Wildcats. We'll open up to the media now to ask any questions of our 4 panellists, and please direct them to the players.
Hey, Craig. Yeah, look, one of the things we loved the start of the season last year. Where the challenges came was it was too early for the WNBL regular season, and that was really important for us. I think, as Annalie said so well, these are great heroes and role models, and we want the kids to be able to come along and see the players playing regular season games. So that was kind of job one. The second reason was also being in school holidays. So every single state around the country is on school holidays in the middle of January, and that drives the economic impact that was already a strong result last year, and we think we can do that even better next year.
Is the event element of it in January to host the Christmas run of every single game, every single day? Is that important to you?
Yeah, it is, absolutely. And we also want to build into the season too. At the start of this year, of this coming season, we'll have NBA games, Euro League games at the start of the season, obviously pre-season tournaments as well. But it gives it a chance for the season to build a bit of momentum coming into January. And I think at that stage, January is always the highest month for us from an attendance point of view. And this will be a great opportunity for the whole sporting world to be focused on Perth and the epicentre of basketball.
Cost of living is a big issue at the moment for families. You mentioned that the tickets are affordable. What sort of price range are we looking at?
Yeah, look, tickets are very much in that $30 price zone, very equivalent and even less for some of the other NBL games that'll be here in Perth. So great way for people to come along, really good family packages as well, but entry-level prices, and a great way for people to come and spend 2 hours watching a game or having the double headers where we're really celebrating WNBL and NBL is fantastic value for money over 5 hours.
Having that element that and walking from different nights, is that, do you think that will help to build around getting Perth fans on occasion?
Yeah, we do. I mean, one of the things we love about Perth basketball fans, West Australian basketball fans, is they're so parochial in their support of the Wildcats and the Lynx. I think both teams have made some great moves in this off-season. They've both got high aspirations, and we're looking forward to them headlining what should be an incredible HoopsFest.
How many other states came for it?
Yeah, we always have lots of conversations with multiple states. What we love so much about Tourism WA and the West Australian government did is they took a chance. This was a new concept last year. As I said, 30,000 people came along, strong economic impact, and so we wanted to reward that trust and that confidence. So I can't speak highly enough of the confidence and the faith that Tourism WA have shown in this event.
How many people are you expecting next year?
Well north of 30,000, I think. But what we found also, every time there's a new event, it takes a little while for people to understand what it is. We have to educate people, and I think now that people have seen the success of last season, they know exactly what it is. I think we'll certainly eclipse that mark, both in total attendees, but as well as people coming from interstate too. And we know that's an important part of the economic impact for this state.
We're going to get similar scenarios again this year. What are we going to see from the celebrity?
Well, I feel like we've got a few celebrities behind me already, so I think we'll constantly work on some more people to come out. Nothing to announce today, but I think the impact that Carmelo and Kenny Smith had last year was phenomenal. And to see, we gloss over it, but to see someone like Luke Longley as one of the all-time greats of both not only Australian basketball but NBA, we are so proud to have him as a part of our sport. So to see people like Luke, Lauren Jackson, some of the current day players as well, I think we're in really good shape.
Thank you for the questions, guys. That wraps up the formal remarks for us here today. A huge thank you to Dave, Annalie, Elijah, Mark Arena, Luke Longley, and all the kids for coming out here today to be a part of the announcement. We are so excited for HoopsFest Perth 2026, and we can't wait to see you all there.